It's based on a real person whose name is Judy Smith, who's a professional fixer. But really, it was just about, what happens when you're very much in charge and how everybody you know has secrets.
The show is, it's this fantastic amalgam of kind of a legal show, but also wrapped up in a political show with basically a group of people who are all incredibly complicated, damaged people who are also hilarious and super smart. And in a world of such high stakes, where every minute it's kind of life and death, because you're dealing with the White House and all of Olivia Pope's clients, their lives are in crisis, and she fixes it, and yet her life is kind of a mess itself. And the great thing about it is nothing is ever what you think it's going to be. You think you've got someone pegged, and they turn out to surprise you in the next episode. So Shonda kept surprising us, and the audience is it's really fun.
It's really challenging, but in a way that actors love. We love to be fully realized human beings. We love for our characters to be rich and complex and complicated, and that's what made me fall in love with Olivia Pope on the page, is that, in her professional life, she's so smart and sophisticated and powerful, but in her personal life, she's much more vulnerable and torn, and, so it's fun to have to wrap my head around those complexities.
It's such a crazy world that nobody's ever seen on television before that you really need a character like Quinn to sort of be the audience, to sort of be the person that's completely been thrown out of left field into a new place, and she needs to ask all the questions that the audience needs the answers to. And so in that way, she's the viewer's eyes, like she's the audience. Well, I hope if I did my job well that the audience relates to me enough in order to think that.
First of all, part one, it's incredible to play such a complicated character. The great thing about Shonda's writing, what she does for all of us in this show, and particularly for Fitz, is, there are times when you think Fitz is a villain. And as you keep watching the show, you realize that there's a whole other thing going on that you never knew about. So there's constant surprises, and things turn 180 degrees from what you thought they were. And so as an actor, it's fantastic, because and oftentimes we didn't know from one episode to the next where it was going, so we were always on our toes, and it was just really, really fun and exciting.
She gets swept up by it, and there's definitely moments you'll see in the 7 where, where she's like, hey, I'm a lawyer too. Like, I know that I'm always the brunt of every joke, and I'm always late, and I might not know everything about crisis management, but I have some training and I have a brain. So she starts to be able to stand up for herself. But by the end of the 7, Quinn is it's very different from what you see in the pilot.
We're going to crazy, crazy places. It's been exciting because I feel like that show is it's sort of it starts with this ball that's rolling downhill that just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and starts rolling faster and faster and faster until in the end, it's almost running you over. It's exciting.
Well, it was murky and mysterious for us. We were like, week to week, we were going, oh boy, what is next week's script going to say? This is getting more and more. Like, we would call each other when we'd get the new script. I mean, Katie Lowe's would be pulled over on the side of the road on her way home, calling me, going, are you done with work? We need to talk about this. I just read it. And I'd be like, I'm only on page 10. I just finished work. But we would be so intense.
Well, that's my favorite thing about TV, and especially Shonda Rhimes' writing, is that every single time we would get a new episode, it would be like oh my, like you find out new information about the character you've been playing, and Shonda Rhimes says, play what you're playing until I tell you differently. So you just commit 100% to what that script was, and then you get another script, and you're like, oh my God, here's a whole other new dimension of Quinn that I didn't know. So the unknown. You just fly by the seat of your pants, which is very similar to crisis management.
My favorite part of the series, doing it, was that we never knew what was going to happen. And if I tell you more than that, I'll get killed by everyone at Shondaland.